So I just sold something on Etsy that I thought I'd make note of. Um, when I bought several truckloads of stuff from a furniture, or not a furniture, a uniform company. They were a uniform manufacturer, had been since 1870 some. I ended up with a lot of sewing related hardware and such, which I ended up sorting out because I was sorting buttons at the same time, and a lot of stuff was all mixed together. I ended up with 74 pairs of these things as one of the things I ended up with. They're just little buckles. They're vintage buckles, but they look like nothing. But I got 74 of the stupid things. So I figured there's a market for them somewhere. So out of my comfort zone, sewing hardware, but you've got to go out of your comfort zone to make money at times. And I figured, well, why not throw them on Etsy? So I did. Now 74 of them, what are they worth? Maybe a buck and a quarter a piece or something like that. So I figured, okay, $100 US. And guess what? They sold. So I got $100 US out of them, and the loads that I got them in has paid for itself many times over already, and it's still paying for itself. They're paying for paying profit out is what it's doing. So yeah, going to be shipping those off. Hopefully they're happy with them. Kept them out of landfill probably, or out of a thrift shop. And yeah, so always think a little bit out of the box. There's a lot of potential in some of that so-called junk that you end up getting with other items, especially buying at industrial auctions and that sort of thing. Some of those items could be worth more than what you were buying in the first place or bidding on in the first place. So don't just disregard or scrap or dump or trash all of that sort of stuff. One of the other things that I ended up with was cap brims. They were just cardboard cutouts in the shape of a cap brim, and I must have sold $500 to $1,000 worth of cap brims. We had burnt some of them previous as well, because I just had so many. I wish I'd kept them now, because I sold every last one, with the exception of some that were in a child's size. But I've still got some of those, a couple stacks of those. But any of the adult sizes were all gone. Sold every last one. And they were just cut out pieces of cardboard. So yeah, and people were really happy with them because the quality was a lot better than what they could buy in China. So yeah, and made money. And it wasn't stuff I was buying. It was just stuff that I was getting with the lots that I was buying. So it was a bonus. So don't disregard that sort of stuff. There's money in it. Don't just pass it by just because it's not vintage. Or, well, these were vintage, but just because they're not collectible, or there's people who are doing restorations. There are people who are working with this sort of stuff and would really prefer the vintage original product over what they can buy new. So anyway, that's a little tip for you. Hopefully you make some money off of it. And happy picking, safe picking. Take care.